and it's back to the drawing board and make another batch. Welcome to my kitchen. As I'd mentioned, we are going to make these delicious classic British treats. The recipe can be found in the description section of this video. Now let's go ahead and dive right in. Here is what you'll need. You'll need 3 1/4 cups or 450 grams of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of sugar. I prefer mine less sweet, so I add in 1/4 cup of sugar. Then 4 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 stick or 113 grams of soft salted butter cut into small pieces, 3/4 cup of milk, 1 large egg. Now let's get started. Firstly, you got to preheat your oven to around 410 Fahrenheit or 210 degrees C. While the oven is busy preheating, line a baking sheet with parchment paper or just lightly grease it with butter. Next, in a large mixing bowl, sift together the flour, the sugar, the baking powder until it's all well combined. You're going to add the cold butter pieces to the dry ingredients. I use my hands, but you can use a pastry cutter for this, and work the butter into the flour mixture till it resembles coarse crumbs like breadcrumbs. Then, in a separate bowl, whisk the egg. Now, make a well in the center of the dry ingredients and pour the milk and the egg into the dry ingredients and mix until it's all combined. Also be careful not to over mix this mixture because it will result in tough scones. So just kind of work it until it's all incorporated, and then you're going to roll it out. Around about this time, you can also add in the dried fruit and gently fold them into the dough until they're evenly distributed. I prefer personally to have my scones plain. I don't like the fruit in it. Many of you might prefer to have raisins or currants in there. I personally just prefer it plain. Next, turn the dough onto a lightly floured surface and roll it out to around about 1 inch thick, which is 2.5 centimeters thick for those using the metric system. Using a 2-inch round cookie cutter, cut the dough out. If you don't have a cookie cutter, don't worry, just use a glass, making sure that the glass's rim is dipped into some flour just to prevent sticking of the dough into the glass. Next, transfer the cut out dough into prepared baking sheet, leaving roughly about 1 inch of space between each scone. Now the scones will be baked in the preheated oven for 12 to 15 minutes until they're lightly brown on top and cooked thoroughly. It's really important not to cook it past the 15 minutes. That is like the golden rule for scones. Scones don't need a lot of time in the oven, especially at that high temperature. Once baked, remove the scones from the oven and transfer them to a wire rack to cool slightly. Now the time has arrived for you to serve the scones with clotted cream, jam, or even butter, and just simply enjoy it with a nice cup of tea, or if you prefer coffee. So I don't want you to take my word for it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let Susan, who is kind of like an adopted sister, my British sister, my sister from another mother, I'm going to allow her to have a taste of my cream tea. And she will then tell me if I've done a good job or not. If not, then it's back to the drawing board and make another batch.
That is amazing.
Anything like
now
home?
That is lekker.
Anything like home?
Just like home. Better than home. It's so good. Excuse me.
And there you have it, folks. Delicious homemade scones that are perfect for any occasions and perfect for royalty. Be sure to give this recipe a try and let me know how it turns out in the comment section. And also don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more tasty recipes. Until next time, happy baking.